Well, some rust came out. Pour a bit more out of here. See that? I'm going to try the Drano anyway, see if anything more comes out. Here's what it looks like. It's roughly 4 liters. That's about 3 to 4 tablespoons. It wasn't measured, it's all approximate. And I have some water here, so I'm going to mix it. That goes in first, half, and then some water, and then some more, etc. This is looking pretty murky, so there's a lot of mineral in there, I would say. So I would say Drano is the way to go. I'm not sure where you're going to get the crystals, but I would say it's quite a bit better. See when I back flush it, but looking good. So let's see what the geyser looks like. Turning on now. Any second now. Coming. Wait for it. About the same, but there's sure a lot of mineral came out, so I'm hopeful. And then there's no pressure on the bottom hose, so it's not backing up. Okay, drain that out, fill it up with antifreeze. I think success has been made. It never got over 140 when I was driving on the road, whereas before it would have. It's sticking around 160, but I'm not sure if it's heating or not. But I can hold the upper rad hoses with my hand, so it's obviously not heating. There's no overflow. Jump there. Mind you, this is a 12 volt gauge and it's in a 6 volt system, so it does read low, but by my testing it's about 20 degrees, so 160 should be fine because the thermostat should hold it around 180. Every time the voltage goes up, it jumps. It's way better anyway, so there is progress being made. I won't know for sure until I get it out on the highway, and I can't right now because the in-transit sticker has expired. And it's not tested yet, so see what happens. When I was on the gravel road, so it's about 2 kilometers or roughly 1.5 miles to the highway, and normally the time I got home in one loop it would be hot, and it stuck to 140 on the gauge, and then it actually cooled off when I was coming back when the thermostat opened. So that is far superior to what it was doing before. It would never cool off before. But let's have one more check under the hood. All I can say at this point is that it's definitely improved. It's still getting warmish, but it holds the temperature. So until I can get another temperature gauge, like an oven gauge, I won't know exactly what temperature it's running at, but it's not boiling over. Mind you, I got burned on my hand the last time because the rad cap jammed, but this is a brand new rad cap. Signs are good. See what happens when it's actually on the highway, but a vast improvement. I just don't know if it's 100% yet. So here's the magic potion. That's Drano crystals, sodium hydroxide or caustic soda is the active ingredient. That's what you want to remove the calcium in the radiator. I might give it another treatment because I did get a lot of mineral out of it, so after 45 minutes of soaking, so and that was using cold water. One YouTuber I saw do it was saying hot water. They advise against that on the can, so I'm a little hesitant to do that. So it did work. It helped immensely. I'm not sure if it's totally fixed yet, but I will find out soon. I really do think I'll give it another treatment just to be sure. It's supposed to be safe for all metals and rubber. I put around 3.5 to 4 tablespoons in for the size of the rad, and the rad takes at least 8 US quarts, or roughly 8 liters. I will check on Liquid Plumber to see what its active ingredient is, but I haven't been able to find any crystals. All I've been able to find are gels or liquids. If you're using the gel stuff, you have to mix it first. Put a little water in and shake it up, and because it separates, and it's counting on getting into the drain to mix, which is not going to happen in a radiator. You're going to end up with clogs or clumps of gel that won't mix with the other parts of the mixture. So and then it won't absorb into the tubes on the radiator. So I will check to see what Liquid Plumber uses as its active ingredient through a workplace safety sheet, WMIS, and I'll let you know. I haven't driven the car since the second rad flush, but I had it idling here setting the timing, because that's one thing that can cause overheating, retard position that is. And what I found was the base ignition was a little bit advanced, so I just put it back to roughly a little bit close to where it's supposed to be. It's a couple degrees advanced, but I'm not worried about that because I suspect fuel is a little better than it used to be. So I can probably take that without any trouble. But what I did find was that when I rev it up, there's very little mechanical advance. There's some vacuum advance, but very little mechanical. And so at rev, that would make it retarded from what it should be. So that could be causing a problem. So I'm going to take the distributor out again. It's back there. And I'll check the weights. Make sure they're working okay. There is some advancement by moving the rotor, but it's not much. So I can see what the issue is here. I'll check the manual too, see how many degrees it's actually supposed to get. But it is getting warm. The rad was venting once I turned it off. I might have to go for a lower thermostat yet. I've got the lowest one in there that they recommend, but other people have been using colder ones, I have found. So from the Cadillac LaSalle Club and from other people I've talked to. So that might be the next step, but after the distributor. Stay tuned. And by the way, on the 6-volt system, to check the timing with a light that has electronics to boost it, there's the 6-volt battery down there, and it doesn't have enough oomph for a 12-volt timing light. So what I did was I have the spare battery from the trailer. Any 12-volt battery will do. And I just ran the light off that and then used the pickup on #1 cylinder. And it worked. Still moving ahead with the overheating problem. Troubleshooting a lack of advance now on the distributor. When I took the point plate off, the cap or the cam inside snapped back. So something is making it catch. So right now, even that though, is not a lot of advance. So the spec is 24 degrees on the distributor at 4,000 RPM. So that would be 48 degrees crank. And I'm definitely not getting that. So around 2,000 RPM, I just have a chart listing the various degrees of advance. So at 2,000 RPM, I'm supposed to be getting 5.5 to 8.5 degrees, which is possible. That's correct, but given that I'm not getting the total 24 degrees, I don't think anyway, I'm going to measure that. But that does not look like 24 degrees to me. So, see what I can find. So for the past week, I've been wanting to take the Cadillac out and see if it's still overheating. And that grid road that's way out there is turning into a mud bath. This is what it's done for a whole week, which is really rare for June. So, I guess I'm just going to have to post it and hope it's fixed. If it isn't, I'll post another one, but progress has been made anyway. I have to live with that. Please don't forget to like, share. Never get tired of looking over that hood. So let's see what happens. I'm going to whopping 10 miles an hour or so. Oil pressure is good. Gas gauge doesn't work. Charge is acting like it's charging. And then the temperature gauge doesn't work. But that one does. So let's see what happens. And I'll check the brakes. Yes, they do still pull. Another challenge. So far that's what it's doing. 4-kilometer trip on about a 20 degree or 70 Fahrenheit day. Put the circulation down and see if it heats up. In a few minutes, I'll let you know. Share, subscribe, or even notify, or any of the above, or all of the above. Thank you.